Alright, we're gonna do a quick video now. Last night, Megyn Kelly had Al Sharpton on the Kelly file. Now, I remember a lot of people during the Megyn Kelly Donald Trump thing. Some guys were Team Megyn, some guys were Team Donald, and some guys like myself were mature enough to stay above the fray. Megyn has since apologized. Megyn went to Trump Tower to see Donald Trump, and they kissed and made up, so they're friends again. But whatever. And Megyn Kelly had Michael Moore, that fat cocksucker, on her show one time, and he was hitting on her, as disgusting as that is. I almost puked myself. She had a bald-headed fuck Dr. Phil on a couple of times. Fucking ugh. But Megyn Kelly, say what you want about her, Megyn Kelly had Al Sharpton on. And I myself was like, man, I'm gonna fucking write into the show about this. I'm gonna fucking do memes. But she had Al Sharpton on. And I'm going to put a link below. Yes, it's tough to bear with. I know I had to fight back to vomit myself, but she had Al Sharpton on, and she mentions the Michael Brown, Darren Wilson incident. Yes, again, for the 5 billion fucking time. Let me tell you something, my friends. She nails his dick to the wall. Okay? She talks about, and even showed a clip of Al Sharpton. He was in an auditorium talking to a bunch of thugs and lowlifes. There was no hint of danger. There was absolutely nothing wrong at all, period. Michael Brown was a child. He was innocent. And if you'll notice, when the police were arresting people for rioting, looting, and other bullshit, there were arrests being made with guys with ID from 1,000 miles away. This driver's license from here, that photo ID from here, okay? So they were actually... No person with a job that pays bills would take a vacation from their job, spend money to go 1,000 miles away to riot. Okay? The guys who were coming in were bums and lowlifes. Okay? They were most likely paid, someone else most likely paid their travel expenses for them. Maybe Al Sharpton, maybe someone like him, I don't know. But there were guys that were being busted and trucked into Ferguson, rioting. The town of Ferguson is destroyed. The town is destroyed. People that have homes can't sell them for shit. People lost their business. They lost their life savings. Employees that work for businesses lost their job. The town of Ferguson is destroyed. One incident, one summer, all destroyed. Destroyed. And she sort of puts him on the spot, and he can't answer. And he's like, well, you know, the Department of Justice found that this was not racially motivated. And he's like, well, just because the Department of I'm summarizing. Just because the Department of Justice didn't find anything doesn't mean nothing happened. Okay? And he basically refuses to apologize to Darren Wilson because an apology will actually help the fucking matter. You know, Hitler could have apologized, right? But because he said, well, he doesn't know what we're going to find out later, okay? Well, with that thinking in mind, you didn't know what we were going to find out later when you were condemning Darren Wilson. I mean, let's not forget this theory here. And every time there's a high-profile case, I sit and watch and wait and look at every aspect of the case before I make public commentary. For instance, George Zimmerman. I heard that a white supremacist ran out of the house with a fucking gun in his hand and shot a black child in the back while screaming the N-word. And then you find out that Zimmerman was on his back, Martin banging his head on concrete. And then you find out later on, a couple years later, that Zimmerman is as bad as Martin was. Okay? Yeah. Now, the story we first heard about Darren Wilson and Mike Brown is that a police officer saw a black child in the road, and he's in a mixed neighborhood, but probably, you know, it's a neighborhood that has several races, but blacks, a lot of blacks. Okay, so this white police officer sees a black child walking in the street. He stops his car, gets out, reaches up. He's 6'1". He reaches up to the 6'4" child, and he pulls the 6'4", 300-pound child into his cruiser, puts him on his lap, starts hitting him, calling him the N-word. Then the child gets up, runs away. He pulls out his gun, runs down the street, shoots the child in the back, falls to the ground, shoots into the child's back as the child is laying down on the ground. He does this in broad daylight in a neighborhood with a lot of black people watching him. Okay, then he calls for backup and for a supervisor to come to the scene for him. And a whole bunch of people, at least 6 of them black, committed perjury and said that the white police officer was being threatened by the black child. Then forensic scientists, crime scene analysts, medical examiners, including Dr. Michael Biden himself, and others, falsified reports, doctored evidence, and committed perjury by saying before a grand jury that the white police officer was justified in shooting the black criminal. Okay? No one in their right fucking mind, keep in mind Al Sharpton's not in his right fucking mind, no one would believe that. Okay? That scenario, no one would believe. Okay? There are guys in basements with tinfoil hats talking to fucking aliens right now that would not believe that story. Okay? No one believed that shit. Okay? So that's how you knew something was up. And then we find out that, and by the way, after all that happened, the black child was coincidentally a suspect in a robbery. Oops. No. Okay, then you find out he's a robbery suspect. He punched the cop in the face, climbed into the cruiser, grabbed the gun. Okay, we find that out later on. But this just goes to show you what we already knew. And unfortunately, after Megyn Kelly got done talking to Reverend, she had the taped interview from a couple hours earlier, and then in studio, she had Kevin Jackson from the Black Sphere, I'll put a link down below, call in. Kevin Jackson is a conservative radio host, conservative commentator, very, very nice man. I've talked to him many, many times. He has a couple of nice YouTube videos. And, you know, Kevin Jackson is saying what we already know. Yeah, this is Tawana Brawley all over again. But Megyn Kelly just fucking showed out Sharpton for the hypocrite scumbag that we all know he was. And I know Megyn Kelly is not the most popular person in the world, and I guarantee you 1,000% someone's going to comment here saying, well, Megyn Kelly's an asshole. Whatever, okay? But Megyn Kelly, who's not that popular these days with some journalists, hits it on the fucking head twice. I mean, and just think about this, okay? Darren Wilson had to quit his job. His wife, who was also on the force, had to quit her job. His wife and a few other people, their family, by his mother, had to move out of the city. Where are they going to get work? He can never, ever, ever be a cop ever again. And the reason why he resigned from Ferguson is because his lawyer said, what happens if you get a phone call, there's someone in a dark alley, you get ambushed? So, Darren Wilson, his life is ruined. If I found out Darren Wilson was living in someone else's basement with his wife and baby on welfare, I wouldn't be surprised because his life is ruined, okay? No one wants to hire him. And I don't think I would hire him unless I could have him behind closed doors because, you know, if you got him answering phones in a building, if you got him, you know, doing into office memos, fine. But you can't have Darren Wilson in a job where the public is going to see him. He can't work in a fucking supermarket. Okay, he can't be a crossing guard. Can't be a parking violations guy. Because the public cannot see him without having a fanatical psychotic reaction. And that is primarily because of Sharpton. Okay? Sharpton ruined Darren Wilson's life. And he ruined Darren Wilson's life because he's a racist. He hates cops with a fucking passion. He actually says in the Megyn Kelly video, you actually see it, he says he doesn't believe in name calling. He doesn't name call. But he said more shit about Jews than Hitler. Okay? So Sharpton ruined this man's life, ruined his family's lives, all because he wanted to exploit a narrative of the racist white cop oppressing our young black children. Okay? The racist white cops are hunting black children for sport. Okay, that is the narrative he wanted to advance. But not only did he destroy all their lives, he destroyed the entire fucking town. See, do you know why a hand grenade is not a good home defense weapon? Or do you know why a hand grenade is not a good weapon for a police officer to carry? Because if a police officer is carrying a hand grenade, and the police officer is confronted by a suspect, and the police officer throws a hand grenade at the suspect, when the hand grenade explodes, after the hand grenade hurts the suspect, the hand grenade is going to hurt other innocent people. That's what Sharpton did. Okay, Al Sharpton dropped a fucking nuclear bomb, not a hand grenade, a fucking nuclear bomb in Ferguson. Okay, because every single homeowner there has lost every penny they invested in their house. You know how you buy a nice house for a cheap price and you fix it up yourself? Maybe you're a master carpenter, and on the weekends and holidays you fix the house yourself. Or maybe you buy a decent house and over the course of 25 years you make renovations. Okay? And sometimes renovation increased the house in value. You bought a house for $150,000 30 years ago, and now the house is worth much more because of inflation, but also because you put in a new kitchen, you put in a new bathroom, you put in the house is painted, the house is nice wood floors, the house has a porch, the house has a pool, and you can easily get, you spent $100,000 to buy the house, you put $100,000 into the house over the course of 30 years, and you could easily get $350 for the house and make $100,000 profit. Okay, yeah, I'm just looking for carpenter, I know a lot of shit. Anyway, that house would be devalued. You bought the house in Ferguson for $100,000. Over a course of 30 years, you put $100,000 into the house. The house is now worth, because of renovations, $350. Now, because of the Ferguson, Mike Brown, Darren Wilson incident, the house is worth nothing. No one wants to live in your fucking house. No one wants to give you a price of a decent value for that house in that neighborhood, in that city. Now, same goes for store owners. Store owners, okay? Working retail sucks. I've done it. But working retail when you're on call 20. My father had a friend who passed away recently. He was a restaurant owner, and he sold his restaurant, went into retirement. Okay, and last time I was at his house, his wife was doing all the talking because he had a stroke. He couldn't talk. God rest his man's soul. He suffered so much. Okay, when him and his wife were running the restaurant, he would be like, "Okay, I just got a good deal on a vacation in Atlantic City. Let's go right now." And they go to Atlantic City. "I just got a deal on a vacation in Disney World. Let's go right now." They lived in Queens, New York City. And they would get to Atlantic City, they get to where they're fucking going, and at the hotel, there were no cell phones back then, at the hotel, there'd be a message at the desk, "Come home right now, something happened." Okay? When you own the retail outlet, whether it's a restaurant, a store, when you own a retail outlet, you are on call 24 hours a day. You can get a phone call from the police 2 o'clock in the morning, the store got broken into. Okay? You can get a phone call when you're on vacation in Hawaii that a guy got caught shoplifting $10,000 worth of shit. Okay? You can get a phone call while you're at your mother's funeral saying one of your employees was caught by your assistant manager stealing. Okay? It is such a hard line to walk down. And also, you got to pay 100% of your bills. The rent, vendors, heat, gas, electricity, water, all of your bills have to be paid every single month, no questions asked. All of your taxes, no questions asked. All of your salaries for all your employees, no questions asked. And at the end of the week, you get to keep what's left. And if your store is losing money, you got to go into the bank and take money out of your account to pay your bills. Very, 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 very hard line. Okay, now you have store owners who they had to tell all their employees, "You're laid off." I had to close shop. The store got destroyed. Insurance restored the store. And then a year later, it got destroyed again. That's what happened. The stores were destroyed. A year later, the verdict came in. No charges. Destroyed again. You're out of work. I know your girlfriend's pregnant. You're out of work. I know you got tuition to pay for. You're out of work. I know you got to take a second job because your husband's sick. You're out of work. Okay? Then, all the money they put into the store, gone. And on the way out the door, all the bills still got to be paid. If a guy delivers $5,000 worth of meat to your butcher shop, and your butcher shop is destroyed in a riot, that guy still wants his $5,000 for the meat, even though you can't sell the meat to your customers anymore. Now, if you have insurance, insurance should pay for it. Alexa, stop, please. But if your insurance company said, sorry, sir, we already paid for the riot last year, you're stuck paying that bill. I gotta go, the battery's going low, the memory's going low, but completely fucking destroyed. I'm gonna put links below. Alright, bye.